Yo, what's up, collective? Welcome back to New World Angel. I almost said welcome back to Bake Baking because I love that guy on TikTok. If you don't watch him, you need to. Dude is freaking hysterical. Uh, hmm. I said I was going to come back. This is my second reading today. Let's just see what comes out. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. Feel like lightheartedness. Funny. Besties, again! What's going on here? I say again because Besties came out in my reading hours ago. So, let's see. We're going to just do a compilation. Compilations. Maybe you're working on collaborations, collaborating with new people, meeting new people. Let's see. I laugh because Matt Belisemi, I'm sorry, I mispronounced your name, Bake Baking. He fucking cracks me up, man, because he goes commando, which I appreciate. If you guys know anything about my story, you would understand that. And he has created an empire based on like a hobby of his of like smoking weed and doing what he enjoys, which is treating himself to delicious desserts. Oh, I know what I want. Matt, okay, if you are tuning into me, have you ever made a croissant? Have you made croissants? You probably have, but Jordan the Stallion, the other guy on Instagram and TikTok who like goes to all these places across the world and like eats amazing desserts. Are you guys gonna collaborate together? Oh, I don't know. That would be fun. Anyway, he was eating a delicious chocolate croissant the other day, and I was like, I don't know if Matt has done that yet, and if you haven't, I would like for you to try. You're also going to be a part of my collaborations that I want to be a part of because I like getting baked and I like to eat desserts. And I like to be in my underwear. Okay, here we go. TMI again. What else is new? Welcome back. All right. New soul in my energy. Collective soul also comes to mind. The band. Honda vehicles could be significant. Maybe you owned one or own one. Contemplating owning one. I don't know. Maybe it was your favorite car growing up. Who knows? What is going on in my energy with this new soul? Nothing wrong with being a new soul. It just means that your journey, and it doesn't like refer to how old you are either. It means like how many lifetimes you have had here on Earth before. So maybe you just are like excitable. excitable. You a whole ass fairy. I can see Matt saying that. Are you in my energy? I don't know. Welcome back to Baked Baking, where I try to bake something while baked. I swear to God, the other day, I could not get that WH sound out of my mouth. I kept saying white and where and what. And it was just like, it reminds me of an English teacher I had in 7th grade. And that, for whatever reason, she would just constantly correct us kids for not doing the WH when it, whenever a word called for it. And he is one person that does that very well. What? Where? Why? It's so dumb. One-off, or is it a karmic cycle? Lack of inner work? I really don't want this to be deep. I just want it to be like a fun reading. God. Somebody asking you this? Lack of inner work. New souls can have a tendency to refrain from looking inside. It's not bad. They just need a little extra, like, oomph, like a little push. Moved frequently as a child. There's something to that. Moving frequently as a child. That really can create a certain persona in you. You can either go one way or the other, where you're like super comfortable with people like you don't know, or you could have had certain circumstances to where it made you pull back and not want to, like a little bit more timid about it. Could have been like an army brat. Somebody in the armed forces. Maverick and Goose. I mean, those are besties. Top Gun. Also, Maverick and Goose, Navy. Or no, they were... They were not in the Navy at all because they flew planes. So, Air Force. Are you flying right now? Maybe feel like you're flying. Are you that high where you're flying? Food cleansing. I know I'm trying to lay off the sweets. Man, I have a major sweet tooth, especially when I smoke. It's like the munchies come out and it's like, give me all the cookies. I become Cookie Monster. Maybe that's something you do too. Or like this karmic cycle that we're talking about, you have like a hard time being consistent with like eating healthier. That could be it too. And you don't know where it stems from. That could be the lack of inner work. I don't know. Let's see, what else? Let's make it one very clear, consistent storyline for the collective. You know what you need to do either way about food cleansing. It reminds me of Jelly Roll. Man, that guy's transformation if you've been following him, it's incredible. Not only his transformation from like the life he used to live to where he is now, but also his relation to food too. It's like so inspiring. I really, really appreciate that guy. And he lives here in Nashville, so I mean, how can you not? I love Nashville. What else? Alienation or alienation? Yeah, this goes back to moved frequently as a child, new soul. Like, do you feel like you're alienating yourself? Maybe that's the timidness. Or do you feel like you're living in an alienation? Resilience, though. Got that resilience factor, that will take you far. So long as you learn lessons about, like, within the resilience, right? Like, you don't want to just keep getting back up and doing the same shit over and over again. That's a part of the one-off or karmic cycle and lack of inner work. You know, the resiliency will only take you so far to where, like, if you're not changing anything on the day-to-day and you're just sort of waking up hoping things will change, you might feel as though, am I living in an alienation, or am I alienating myself? Triumph. Where your energy goes, your attention flows. That's right next to food cleansing. Yeah, if you sort of like immerse yourself in the world of sweets, like Matt Wood, where, like, you know, his world sort of, his livelihood revolves around, like, what am I going to bake? And, like, what am I going to do? The tendency and inclination to be drawn towards foods like that can be a hard thing to get yourself out of. So maybe you're trying to heal from that, or trying to figure out, like, where that stems from. You'd be surprised at how, like, one seemingly non-connected experience, such as moved frequently as a child, how that can translate into relationships with food. Maybe you could have felt as though, you know, maybe your both parents worked a lot, and because you did move a lot, like, your comfort, you turned to food for comfort. Possibly. Or, like, you alienated yourself and, like, food became like a substitute sometimes. I can see that. I've had my own issues with that. Don't get me started on bread. Bread and butter. Oh my God. Warm sourdough. Whew. You're God's bait. We'll get into that and what that means. This doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like, sometimes God will use, if you believe in God or some sort of higher source, power, spirit, whatever you want to call it, right? Sometimes you can feel as though you've been, like, alienated from the world, or that you have always been different from the world, when in reality that difference is what sets you apart and ultimately heals other people. So you being God's bait is not, like, a way to say that, like, bad things are happening to you, or you just feel like, you're in a karmic loop of some sort because you did something. No, sometimes it's because you didn't do anything at all, and God's trying to show the rest of the world, like, what you have to offer in a different sort of way. Powerful people are mentioning your name in rooms you've never even stepped in. Regarding all the trauma and abuse you've endured and triumphed over. They just don't get it, but you do. Whoever I'm speaking to, you get it. I mean, am I the goose to your maverick? Maybe. Maybe you're finding me to find solace in some sort of way or healing in some sort of way, in which case, that's exactly what I'm here for. Now, that doesn't mean like just by listening to me, things are going to change, because you have to co-create your reality with God. And until you learn certain lessons, will that actually happen? So resilience is a huge part of that. I know for my story, resilience, it was like everything. You're a siren. People are drawn to you naturally. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You exude love, and people see this. What else? What else needs to come out, Spirit? One consistent storyline. Federal prison. Interesting. Maybe you just have experience with federal prison. Am I speaking to Jelly Roll? I hope so. That would be super cool. All right, I'm not trying to make this a super long reading. Estrangement. Estrangement from federal prison. Yeah, maybe you have... I just get it's been maybe like... Well, hold on. We'll get into that. My initial inclination was to say you have seen federal prison and you know that that is not the direction you want to head in. And that would absolutely be, I feel like, a part of Jelly Roll's experience. Urban setting. Are you in a city setting? Boy strip! And telephone game. Rumors. Rumor mill. This could be the collaboration, new collaborations, new connections. Writer. Could be a writer, or maybe that's something you're coming into. I mean, in music, obviously, you're right. Fifth house of creation, procreation, recreation. It also represents Leo, the lion, the sun, courage, creativity, childlike, happiness, joy. There's like a lightness about you. Like, people are attracted to Leos. I kind of, not every Leo embodies the sort of energy of a star, but like I get that feeling from them a lot of the time. You know, they're big and just loud. Anything else? Okay, refresher. We have dealing with the new soul. You a whole ass fairy over there. Is this a one-off or a karmic cycle? Like, we don't know. Lack of inner work. Moved frequently as a child. Maverick goose type energy. Food cleansing is a thing. You know what you need to do, though. Am I living in an alien nation, or am I alienating? Alienation. Whatever it is, triumph over that. Where your energy goes, your attention flows. So maybe you're consciously making a decision to steer clear of the things that brought your energy levels down, and food is a big part of that. Also, what you listen to, what you read, what you watch, what you choose to intake. You being God's bait is no easy feat to overcome, because there is a certain amount of time where you feel like, why are things not working out for me? I feel like I'm a good person and I'm doing all the right things, and yet nothing is working out for me. It's all because it's a part of some other bigger plan. And that powerful people are mentioning your name in rooms you've never even stepped in regarding all the trauma and abuse you've endured. A lot of people just don't get it, but you seem to. So that's cool. Federal prison is in the future regarding some sort of estrangement from people, connections of the past, or just like your experience with federal prison. We are dealing with an urban setting, city settings, in a boys trip, and telephone game, rumors, rumor mill, or just like what one message will start out as and then how it ends up actually being, how the masses are intaking it seems as though it's like two completely different things. That's what I get from telephone game. It starts one way, and then it, like you could say one word, telephone, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't even know, like, insert whatever word you want to, and it's like, that was not the point of the message whatsoever. Okay, let's do what's the vibe. What's the vibe, spirit? This is gonna be a quick one. I'm not gonna stay on long. What's the vibe regarding all of this? What do we need to know? Masked. Hiding, concealing, deception. Are you hiding something? Concealing something? Deceiving people? To stay out of prison? Love affair, dirty little secret, sex fix, down low, vacay, get away, relax, have fun. Yeah, maybe somebody, possibly with your experience in prison, and this will not be for everyone, but with somebody's experience in prison, perhaps that has changed your thoughts of like what your sexual proclivity is. Maybe you thought like being straight was the way you wanted to be, and then, I don't know, being in prison made you actually come to terms with like your sexuality. It's just something that I get. I don't know. Dirty little secret. I hope not. Hopeful, inspired, optimistic, success. What else is the vibe here? This doesn't have to be anything seedy, although we do have like some darker energies on the table. The federal prison is what's throwing me off. What else? Maybe you had a love affair on vacay. Or you're planning a boys' trip and you're like stoked about having, like, who doesn't want to have like a love, not an affair, but just like meet a romantic interest on vacation? Everyone. It's like, that's the best. Okay, we are dealing with legalities here. Lawyers, court, paperwork regarding a love affair on vacation. That's the federal prison. What else? Nurturing, mentorship, wisdom, giving back. Maybe a lawyer is wanting to come towards you and mentor you. Perhaps a court case is coming up. Okay, another thought I'm getting from this is your God's bait is that God's testing you. Sort of like what you do with the next steps in terms of like, you know what you need to do, and God is watching to see if you do the right thing, which means federal prison or not. Ooh, that's it. That's it. Cutting ties, freedom, standing up, awaken. Do we have an awakened soul here? Established, settled, secure, wealthy. Boundaries, disrespectful, enough is enough, defend yourself. Paranoid, cautious, insecure, and guarded. Maybe your current standing makes you feel paranoid, especially if like prison is like looming in the background, right? Adjudication. Despair. Despair for somebody in high honor or sudden wealth. Great fortune. Yeah, like the cannons are being fired. Judgment Day is upon us. A decision is being made. Like sounding the trumpet. Yeah, regarding your work, your job. Ooh, okay. This this is not going to be an extended. I'm just going to do a quick little pull here. I feel like the alienation and or like, am I living in a freaking crazy town right now? And the triumph you've had over that, it saved you in some sort of way. Or maybe you need to do that, alienate, estrange yourself from a certain situation. Where your energy goes, your attention flows. I'm just trying to take in all these energies and try to make it make sense here, because there's a lot going on. Yeah, maybe what you once considered just like a brief fling, and it was just supposed to be fun on vacation, and you were so hopeful and inspired and optimistic about it, turned itself into a legal mess, and now you're having to sort of work your way through it, like nurture somebody through it, and like either you or they are paranoid, or at least just cautious and insecure and guarded. Despair about what the officials are saying about this sudden wealth and great fortune. Spirit, clarify this storyline. Like, what is current in the energy right now that will pull this whole thing together? Have this all make sense. Something's coming to light. This is the triumph, the resiliency. Like you're continuously doing the thing. And people sort of see this as like, is she freaking like, is she an alien? Is she a fairy? Like, how does she have the ability to keep going? So I'm talking to a she, apparently. Or maybe you identify, if you are in a same-sex relationship, maybe you identify as the she in this relationship. Like you're the bottom. I don't know. Justice. Maybe people are talking about this legal battle, court case. Clarify, Spirit. What's current in the energy that's going to make this make sense? Tower! The way I said it. Oh, okay, this is not funny because this seems a little bit more intense than I was hoping to get into, but it's a tower moment. Tower moment is good for one person, but it's crumbling a foundation of the other. That's the despair. $16. Maybe on the 16th of possibly next month, or just this past the 16th was what, on a Friday? Today's the 19th, right? Yeah. This tower moment is a reckoning. It's an evening out. So the time has finally come where God's bait, where it's like he dangles the carrot to see if people are going to do the right thing by this person. The time has come for this person to be seen in the right light, and it's bringing about despair for those who did not choose right. Yeah, I just get a lot of upheaval, movement. Whoa. What did I say? Judgment. The tower is judgment. That's Archangel Michael blowing the trumpet, saying, "The time is nigh." I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make light of this. That's the only way I was able to get through my story, is by just trying to find a little bit of joy in places. So I'm not making fun of you. It is just, sometimes I crack myself up. I live with a toddler, okay? I need to laugh somehow. Yeah. This has been a long fucking time coming. All the trauma and abuse, all the work, all the wealth that was accrued, the great fortune. For this judgment to come in, you have had to wait a long fucking time. What else? And this guy, like, he's resilient to the fact that, like, you plant a seed, it doesn't fucking grow overnight. He's got 7 seeds there. Upwards to 7 years even. Maybe it's been going on that fucking long. Or July is important. Cancer energy. Home, foundation, that's all about the tower. What was once built on falsities and the telephone game, hearsay, is now a crumbling down. Yeah. Celebrations. Celebrations in the future. Justice. You can't get more clear than this. A legal matter is coming to the forefront, and powerful people are talking about this. Libra energy. Look, drop the mic type. She doesn't give a fuck how she's seen. She's like, I seen it. I know what I saw. I know what I heard. And I said what I said. Judge energy even. Maybe a judge is like, I'm fucking over this. Like, it's done. There's no more trying to reconcile this. Like, it's over and done with. Anything else, Spirit? Yeah. This queen is like this judge or this judgment. She's cutting through the shit. That's like She's literally like, cut through the shit. I am done hearing all your bullshit, all your lies, everything that you've tried to say to get this to go in one direction. Over and done with. The time is nigh. Like Bill Nye the Science Guy, the time is nigh. Anything else? Anything else? What else is going to clarify this? Yeah, this fell in the reverse. 8 of Cups in the reverse. It's like, there's no going back. There's no appeal here. She's not going back on what she said. She's not going back on the judgment. What's done is done. You're fucking going to prison. And I don't want to hear your shit. Okay. So, numerology-wise, Earth Angel energy. It's like, time to make the connection and time to heal this in the proper fucking way. 7 of Cups in the upright, 8 of Cups in the reverse. So, what was once supposed to be like a long time coming and all the confusion was supposed to go in your favor, it's now brought you down to a -1. That's just pure math. Like, you didn't do what was right. You didn't do what was right for, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying the people involved in this, which could be, you could be a part of this in some sort of way. But, what you thought was going to get you ahead will not. It's going to set you back and then some. Like your karma for what you did, all the trauma and abuse is setting you at a place of like, the only thing you have left is to try to make things right for yourself. And the only way to do that is to, instead of having a lack of inner work, you better start working on yourself, because you're going to have a lot of fucking time in prison to do so. This was not my baked baking guy or jelly roll, unfortunately. This has something to do with somebody else's storyline, but it's the most prevalent energy, and this is the most cohesive storyline that needed to come out. So, this is the hardest part of my job when I do this, is like, sometimes I am in like an amazing, lighthearted energy, and it's like, that's all I want to read on. Like, I want to give people the goodness. And then this shit comes out, and it's just like, really? Yeah. Here. Ooh, I'm getting hot. Maybe you're getting heated by this. Maybe this is like pissing you off. It's another part of my job that I don't like. I'm not trying to piss people off, but I am a mirror. Sometimes angels come in to present a mirror to you to say, look at yourself. And people don't like that. Apparently people don't like that. So, I've had to deal with that. It's not fun. But ultimately, if people can learn from this and learn from their experiences and learn from other people's storylines so that they don't find themselves in this shit, that will raise the collective. Hopefully over time, like, you know, across the world is what we hope, because we can do amazing things if everyone's energy and like our goals are better in alignment with like self-love and then expressing that to others, doing right by others, you know? Let's pull one from the herbal deck. Six of Wands. Six of Wands, like the chaos and the weight is over. Judgment has been rendered. It's there. Whenever a judgment in a legal matter is called, there's always, one person that benefits from it, and obviously others that, don't. People that wanted it to go in a different direction. King of Wands. What about the King of Wands? What about him? Ace of Wands. This is the Leo energy. Ooh. Yeah, this dirty little secret love affair came to an end real quickly. Oh my God, yeah. Possibly even, I don't want to say it, but this federal prison can feel like a death to a community or an actual death. Because look at this. King of Wands, dirty little secret, resulted in a no bueno, a lot of shit talking, telephone game, lies, illusions, like trying to steer things in a certain direction, only for the cycle to end. The world. It's finally coming to an end. And now people are forced to walk away. Walk away from all the work, all the money invested, all the time. They have to turn their back on that. All the seeds that they planted and like what they were hopeful to get as an outcome, people are turning their fucking backs. Estrangement, that's the estrangement. It's like where people were once all like flocking to it and is just like, yeah, I want to be a part of this. This sounds great. Well, then shit got real weird real quick and people are like, no, I'm going to walk away. This doesn't feel good. It doesn't look good. I am removing myself and I don't know you anymore. That's what I fucking get. Okay, well, I am in a great energy still. I hope you are, collective. I'm sorry if this is your storyline, but it is what it is. The hope here is that you realize the role that you played in all of this. If you care even a little bit about retaining any sort of level of morality going forward in prison, like, try taking a deeper look at, your motives for certain things. You are a new soul. So, it's not like you've been around, like sometimes new souls don't have the foresight. They don't have the intuition to foresee, all the bad things that can come from one freaking decision. That's why I'm here. Is to help new souls and old souls, like any freaking soul that is wanting to just, I don't know, get some clarification and answers in their world. Especially new souls, they haven't been around enough to just have that that level of intuition and guidance that sometimes old souls just like naturally exude. Like I went to a psychic one time in New York for it was spring break, my senior year spring break, and I remember me and my best friend at the time, well, she's still like a really good friend of mine. She looked at me and she goes, you're like a really old soul. And at the time I was like, okay, whatever. But like the way she looked at me was like, kind of like scoping me out. Like, no, you're like a really old soul. And then she did my friend right next to me and she goes, you're a new soul. That's why you two attract one another, is because new souls somehow, it's almost like an old soul is guided to sort of help usher and shepherd a new soul in the right direction. You can only do so much, right? You can't like tell them and like force them to do what you feel like is right for them. They need to figure it out on their own. That's all a part of like growing up with, like having a child. They have to figure it out for themselves sometimes. Sometimes new souls need to go through that too. They need to make mistakes in order to then gain the wisdom from that so that they can take it into the next lifetime. Does that make sense? So, not all is lost. You may feel as though like life as you know it is over, but in reality, it's a new beginning in a completely different way that's allowing you to reassess and take some time. So, anyway, with that being said, I love you. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys again real soon.